you run your own race better than anybody. If you take the time to see what everybody else is doing, you lose your ground.
It is my intention to live to the highest calling and be pressed to the mark of the highest calling that I have come to do. When you think about growing and being empowered yourself, it is what you've been able to do for other people that leaves you the fullest.
Yes.
My most embarrassing moment was
top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 for my top 10, top 10, top 10, 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to lean into your dreams, don't compare yourself to others, and trust your vision with Oprah Winfrey and my take on her top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule #1. Lean into your dreams.
So it is my intention to fulfill the dream of the Creator. It is my intention to live to the highest calling and be pressed to the mark of the highest calling that I have come to do. And when you can ask the Creator, ask that which made you you, what is your dream for me? I guarantee you, instead of you trying to define the dream, what is your dream for me? If you're able to lean into the dream that the universe and all the forces of light and love and power and grace by all the names that we call God has for you, nobody can touch you. Nobody can touch you.
Rule #2, don't compare yourself to others.
That show was on for 25 years in Chicago, and when you did it, you won, I think, almost 50 Emmy Awards, and it was voted one of the best TV shows in the history of TV. So you ended it, though, after 25 years to do other things, and we'll talk about that, but you no regrets about ending that show.
No regrets whatsoever. You know, I didn't want to be punch drunk in the ring, still trying to come up with what is the next thing, because over the years, we became our own greatest competition. So when I first started, went national in 1986, every time there'd be another talk show, I'd be, Geraldo Rivera, what are we going to do? And then I realized a couple of years in that you run your own race better than anybody. If you take the time to see what everybody else is doing, you lose your ground, and that I could be a better me than I could be anybody else. And so no need of trying to compare myself to other people.
Rule #3, have humanity.
One of the things I tried to do all those years on the Oprah show, sometimes people would criticize me because they felt that I didn't do enough for race or racism. But this is what I always understood, that for me, my role and my goal in life is to open people's hearts. That's what I do, is I try to tell stories that allow people to see themselves in the lives of other people. And for me, it was always more powerful and effective to do a show, for example, on single parents raising their children, and just on the panel of parents to have a Black father, and to show the photographs or images of that father putting his child to bed and reading a story at night. That to me is more powerful than doing a story on, let's talk about Black fathers who are raising their children. Because the goal for me is to show that we are all more alike than different, and that in our humanity, in our ability to express our humanness, we are the same. So when you see a father putting his child to bed at night and reading stories, and that man is Black, and you know that's what your husband does, and that's what you do, you feel a sense of connection and humanity.
Rule #4, be clear about your intention.
Everything you try to do is already done. So when I figured that out, oh, what I'm putting out is what's coming back. Let me get real clear about what it is I'm putting out. Real clear. So I read a book about 1989 called Seed of the Soul. And in that book, Gary Zukav talked about the laws of karma, of the laws of cause and effect, the third law of motion. And in that book, he talked about how your intention is always one with the law, meaning before you even think about a thing, you have an intention for the thing, and that the intention is going to determine the outcome. That's why the same people can go to the same church service and somebody walk down the aisle just to be seen to put some money in the church, and somebody else who just goes and just has a little bit to offer. The intention with which you give, the intention with which you serve determines the outcome. So when I figured that out, I went, whoa, I changed everything I did on my show. I called in the producers and I said, from this day forward, I will no longer be speaking to the KKK. I will no longer be speaking to people who are fighting each other in a way that it is damaging to the character of myself and other people who watch. From this day forward, I am only going to do intentional television.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
Your number one job is to become more of yourself. They think that success is supposed to happen like that. Become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed.
Rule number 5, know that you are enough.
When you're saying, I know who I am, and I'm telling you, it's the thread that runs through everything. It's the thing that allows you to stand in your own truth. And one of the things for years that Maya Angelou used to say to me is, baby, you need to know that you alone are enough. You alone are enough.
Rule number 6, trust your vision.
When I started the magazine, they said, you will not see a profit for at least the next 5 years. And we were profitable the first month, the second month, and have been since. And so I thought, oh, okay, those predictions, that is not really that true. I had no idea how difficult it would be. However, I am really, there's an old spiritual that says, wouldn't take nothing from a journey now. I really was speaking to Stedman this morning. He was saying, it's a good thing that you went through that because you were living on the mountaintop for the past 25 years. You created this machine of the Oprah show that it just felt like walking into, okay, here we go. So no struggle, it had become easy for me to do. So to be in a position to build from scratch this network and to go through everybody thinking it was going to fail. And there were days when I had doubts myself, like, I had to force myself to actually practice what I had preached for years about going inside, staying with the vision, having every step move you in the direction of the vision and trusting that, building the right team.
Rule number 7, learn to really listen.
One of the things I started to get around mid to late 90s is that everybody that I had on the show at the end of the show would say something to me like, was that okay? Was that okay? How was that? Was that okay?
Right.
At the end of the interview. And I started to then track it. It didn't matter if it was, I had gone and done a show where I was in a prison and I was interviewing a father who was in jail for life for murdering his twin daughters. And at the end of the interview, even behind bars, he said to me, is that okay? How'd I do? And Barack Obama said it when he sat in the chair the first time. And George Bush said it Beyonce said it at the end of her, she taught me how to twerk and then said, is that okay?
Right. So that's an acquired skill, didn't I? Right?
Yes, the twerking thing. But this is what I learned sitting in that chair for 25 years, that at the end of the day, whether you are interviewing me or I get to interview you, whatever your profession is, wherever you are in your life, in your relationships, every person that you encounter, every experience, the person wants to know, was that okay? Was that okay? And what I started to hear was that what people are really saying is, did you hear me? Did you hear me? And did what I say mean anything to you? And so I started to listen with that in mind, with that intention of validating that you're being here, you're speaking to me, you're taking the time to do this with me is important because you matter. And that's true for everybody who's watching or listening, that every argument that you ever have, every encounter, the person just wants to know, did you hear me? Did you see me? And did I say anything that mattered?
Rule number 8, fulfill your mission.
Every single day, I would have a pre-show meeting and have the producers come in and state to me, what is your intention? How do we want to use whoever is on this show, whatever is happening on this show, to serve the audience in a way that fulfills the mission of uplifting, enlightening, encouraging, as well as entertaining. And if it doesn't do that, then I can't do it. I can't put my name on it.
Rule number 9, help others.
I figured this out early on in the show. I had read this quote from Dr. King, one of my favorite quotes from him that says, not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great because greatness is determined by service. And I literally shifted, I used that quote to help me shift the way I saw the platform of television. Instead of like, oh, I'm on TV, how do I use that platform as a platform of service?
Amen.
Is what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. And you did that pretty well, too.
But when you think about growing and being empowered yourself, it is what you've been able to do for other people that leaves you the fullest.
Yes.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is tell great stories.
Most embarrassing. Oh my God. My most embarrassing moment was when I told this on the Tonight Show once, so if you've heard it, or you didn't hear it on the Tonight Show? You missed Jay that night. My most embarrassing night, when the World Soccer Cup thing came here, Dean? World Cup Soccer opened here in was that 94? 94! Because you guys were shooting it. Okay, World Cup Soccer. I am asked to I am the MC for the World Cup Soccer, okay? And I am coming out, and I'd rehearsed the day before, and I'd said to them, you guys have this plastic covering the stage that is the same color as the stage. So you guys really need to change that. They did not. So the next day, I'm on stage and I'm introducing Diana Ross, who's coming across the other end of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Ross. And Diana starts, I'm coming out. And so she's coming across the field. I turned to walk off the stage and fell in a hole. The hole that was covered with the plastic, I went straight through the plastic. Big pit in the hole, fell, scarred up my legs, was bleeding, and couldn't get out, but I could still hear Diana singing. So I'm in the hole, the security guy's going, get her out, get her out, get her out of the hole, get her out of the hole. So 4 guys, they pick me up like this, spread eagle, and carry me out of the hole. I'm bleeding, I go to the other side, they bandage my legs, and I limp back up. And I say, that was Diana Ross!
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Oprah on how to find the right people that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, who can you help today? Number 2, who do you need to stop comparing yourself to? And number 3, how can you lean into your dreams this week? And if you made it this far in a video and you commit that you're gonna take action, we don't just watch videos here, we do something, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments below because I want to celebrate you.
I always feel that until you take your last breath, you're always growing. And that every experience that you encounter in your life, just all of you being together here today, and being in a room with people who are like-minded, who share the same vision, all of that is so stimulating. You leave here and you feel like you can be better and do better.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.